Now we got 10 things you need to know about Roki Sasaki. So buckle up, did a deep dive. And the first thing that you need to know is that he is going to have one of the highest velocity fastballs in the sport right out of the gates. His four-seamer in the WBC clocked in at 100.3 miles per hour on average. He topped out at 101.9 miles per hour. He hit that 3 times during the WBC. 47 of his 65 heaters, around 72%, were 100 miles per hour or more. 12 of those were at least 101 miles per hour. That is electric, explosive velocity. The only pitcher you could compare him to from a fastball velocity standpoint is Paul Skeens. Last season, Paul Skeens threw 100 pitches at 100 miles per hour or faster during his rookie season. He's the only guy that's sitting at Roki's table, or you could say the vice versa. Roki's sitting at Paul Skeens' table in year one. He's the only guy. And if you look at some of his highlights from the WBC, if you want to roll some of those, a 101.8 mile per hour fastball just absolutely smoked Randy Arozarena. He didn't even get creative. He threw it right down the middle, just actually blew him away with it. Arozarena had no chance whatsoever. Just no chance whatsoever, smoking him with that. Look at that heater right there. Absolutely explosive. Had the arm side run on it as well. You got no chance. No chance against a heater like that. He also got whiffs on that four-seam fastball pretty regularly, and that was against big league hitters. And it's not just the speed and velocity, it's the movement. He's got above average ride on it. During the WBC, averaged 17 inches of induced vertical break. That would be above average. That gives you that perceived rise that really is a thorn in big league hitters, right? I mean, they do not like to see that perceived rise. And he also has 12 inches of arm side run. So you're looking at 17 inches of induced vertical break, 12 inches of arm side run. So it does move more than a military family. And it also has the velocity. And then you look at the current state of the fastball. That's the big question heading into this season, because part of the homework assignment that Roki Sasaki gave to teams was, my velocity was down last season. How are you going to get it back up? Last season in the NPB, his fastball averaged just under 97 miles per hour. So that is a lot less than the 99 miles per hour that he averaged throughout the 2023 season in the NPB. And a lot of this was due to injury. He was dealing with an oblique injury. He had some soreness, had some shoulder fatigue. There are also some theories out there that he wanted to save his bullets for the show, right? That he knew that he was going to make it to the show in 2025. So maybe he held back a little bit. But that fastball has the potential to be right up there with Paul Skeens for best, most effective, most explosive fastball in all of Major League Baseball. Now, the second thing you need to know is Paul Skeens might have a better fastball potentially, but right out of the gates, day one, Roki Sasaki is going to have the best splitter in the sport. His splitter during the WBC averaged 90.9 miles per hour. He threw it as hard as 93. I'll never forget that at bat against Alex Verdugo and the look on Verdugo's face when he swung and missed at a 93 mile per hour splitter. It looked like a cheat code. And only 3 major league starters last year threw splitters that averaged over 90 miles per hour or more. Jose Soriano, Taj Bradley, and then Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So it's already rare, but his can pump up to 93. Now, you can include the splinker with Paul Skeens, and that averaged 94, but it's a little bit of a different it's a different pitch. It gets charted as a sinker and not a splitter, but this thing drops. Averages 33 inches of downward vertical movement. During the WBC, it looked absolutely lethal. And what makes it extra special and extra unique is it's not just that 33 inches of drop. It's the fact that it has this unique fade where sometimes it fades east, sometimes it fades west. So it has a horizontal movement element to it as well. And during the WBC, it had a 60% whiff rate. He had 18 whiffs on 30 swings. got 8 strikeouts with the pitch. And in 2023, it had a 52% whiff rate. And in 2024 in the NPB had a 57% whiff rate. That is well above average. That is almost double what we see in the show. So the splitter is going to be world famous from day one. Third thing you need to know is that to really have him realize his potential and be the best pitcher in the sport, to win multiple Cy Youngs, yes, that fastball, yes, that splitter is extra special. Those 2 pitches alone are such plus pitches, 80 grade level, that he could still be an all-star pitcher. But what's going to take him to the next level is an effective slider. And his slider has the potential to be a plus pitch, 6 inches of horizontal break. It's a tight, firm slider. The velo did go down in 2023 and 2024. It was 84 miles per hour last year. And in 2023, it was 88. But he has thrown it at an 88 to 90 mile per hour range. So that's kind of the thing I'm looking for early on, is what's the velo looking like on that slider? How the Dodgers change anything from the grip to the shape. The Dodgers can teach the slider better than any organization in the sport. So he is going to be a happily married man, but the question is, will he have a slide piece? And that's going to be the biggest thing for him in his future. Now, fourth thing you need to know, he threw a perfect game in the NPB, and then he followed that up with 8 perfect innings in his next outing. On April 10, 2022, Roki Sasaki threw a perfect game for the Chiba Lotte Marines against the Oryx Buffaloes in Chiba City. And there hasn't been a perfect game in Major League Baseball since Felix Hernandez in 2012. There hadn't been a perfect game in the NPB since Hiromi Makahara's for the Yomiuri Giants in 1994. It was the 16th perfect game in NPB history. He tied the NPB single game strikeout record with 19 strikeouts. He had 19 strikeouts in that game. And get this, he punched out 13 consecutive batters at one point. He had a stretch of 13 straight strikeouts. He finished the game throwing 105 pitches, first perfect game in a long, long time. And he had a game score of 106. 106 game score. The highest game score in big league history is Kerry Wood's 105 in his 20 strikeout game in 1998. So you have a perfect game, highest game score. Is he done? No. Very next start, April 17th, he pitched 8 perfect innings against the Nippon Ham Fighters. And against the Ham Fighters, he was so good that his manager took him out in the 9th inning. I mean, that was a bold decision because they didn't want to overwork him. He's still young, but he had pitched 8 perfect innings against the Ham Fighters, and he would have became the only pitcher to throw 2 consecutive perfect games. I mean, doesn't seem real. He had 14 strikeouts on 102 pitches. He struck out the side in the 8th inning and was still throwing 101 miles per hour in the 8th inning. He ended up retiring 52 consecutive batters. It was an NPB record. So you see the dominance. You see the dominance of a Roki Sasaki, the sheer absolute ability to impose his will, the dominance that has the potential to make him not just a multi-time Cy Young Award winner, but maybe an MVP, maybe a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's how high the ceiling is. After the game, Roki said, "This is the greatest. I feel on top of the world." And if you go to Cooperstown, the Baseball Hall of Fame, there's an autographed ball from Roki Sasaki's perfect game that is in Cooperstown. So really cool to see that. The fifth thing you need to know, he broke Shohei Ohtani's velocity record in high school. And as a pitcher, he is considered to be the better prospect at this stage of his career, the bigger phenom on the bump than Shohei was when he came to the show. Roki Sasaki set the Japanese high school record when he threw a 101 mile per hour fastball. That broke Shohei Ohtani's, who threw a 99 mile per hour fastball. And Ohtani, of course, he'll go on to be an elite pitcher in baseball, an MVP, multi-time MVP, someone who's widely considered to be the most talented player ever. But Roki Sasaki's fastball topped his in high school. Shohei for the Hanamaki Higashi High School that summer 2012, he threw 99. Roki threw 101. I mean, that is unbelievable velocity at that age. Number sixth thing you need to know is Dodgers president of baseball operations has been scouting him for multiple years. The Dodgers have been scouting him since he was a teenager, making multiple trips over to Japan to watch him pitch in person. Friedman saw him last year in person, and Andrew Friedman said, he told us in Dallas, quote, he has talked about his desire to be the best pitcher in the world, and we believe he's capable of being the best pitcher in the world. Roki said, I want to become a number one pitcher. I want to be the player whose name fans say when they're asked who is number one. He wants to be the best pitcher in baseball, go down as one of the best pitchers of all time. He has those expectations for himself. And here was Roki Sasaki, or here was Andrew Friedman talking about Roki Sasaki at Dodgers Fest. And you can just see the look on his face, the smile on his face, how excited he is to have a pitcher with this kind of potential in this organization for, mind you, less than $10 million. Here's Andrew Friedman talking Roki Sasaki.
Could you guys walk us through it and give us some information, a little bit of insight? The signing of Roki, when did you guys find out that it was a done deal? Can you walk us through that process?
Yeah, a lot went into it. Obviously, I've been scouting him for years, like all teams, and he is incredibly talented. And watching him over the years, the compete was off the charts. Our scouts just kept raving about the guy, the upside, the ability, the potential. And so, you know, when he got posted officially, kicked into high gear from groups from different departments, our pitching group, our analysts, our performance science, he posed a homework question that, to the teams that he met with of why did my velocity go down last year and how are you guys as an organization set up to help me? And we were like, yes, that's awesome that he asked that, because A, it shows a curiosity, and B, we felt like that was right in our wheelhouse. And the way our training staff, performance group, pitching group all worked together, we had the opportunity to display that and show it to him firsthand. And so went through that. The first meeting, we weren't allowed to bring any players. And so the second meeting, we were allowed to bring players, and not just the players who showed up, but the number of players who sent in a video. As we were talking about it, the question that we thought could go through Roki's mind is, okay, I think LA, the city, the fan base, the team, the group are really well positioned and situated for me, but how will the guys feel? How will I be welcomed in the clubhouse? And so I think we had 19 or 20 guys either at the meeting or on video, basically with the same message. Dodgers treat players really well. They treat our families really well. They help make us better. And we really want you to be our teammate. And so having that many guys say that, I think really resonated with them. And then as we were waiting, it was hard. We didn't have much attention span the day that we thought Roki was going to make the decision. Couldn't really focus on anything. Just staring at our phone, waiting for his agent, Joel Wolf, to call, and got a text from Shohei, who had obviously talked to Roki, and said, we got him.
So you just see that smile on his face. And yeah, if you go back, I kind of want to put this picture up there, but if you go back and watch my interview with Friedman from Korea last year, at the end of the interview, I joked to him. I said, hey, don't worry, Andrew, I'm not going to show you a picture of Roki Sasaki wearing a Dodgers jersey. And he just had the biggest smile on his face, was laughing, and it almost felt like he knew. This is a man who gets what he wants. This is a man that doesn't even almost need to have a plan B at this point, because the plan A just is working out for him. And I'm sure that the expectations are certainly there, but Friedman is someone that the international prospects trust. He is. And this organization has developed a level of trust with players from Japan. That's evidenced by the signings. So don't lose sight of that. Don't lose sight of just there is a sales job element to all this. I mean, at some point during these signings, these negotiations, it comes down to Andrew Friedman and company sitting in a room with this player and this agent and earning their trust. So they've been able to do that. And I think that that's something that is invaluable. You look at Shohei Ohtani's contract. He literally has a part of his contract that states that if Andrew Friedman is gone, he can get out of his contract. That tells you how much players trust Andrew Friedman and they trust his vision in putting talent around them so they can compete for World Series championships, but also that they care about their career, that they're going to put them on the IL when they think they need to be there, that they're not going to thrust them into situations that they're going to think are going to be effective. So I think that's just a massive, massive thing that doesn't get talked about enough is the trust level that guys like Andrew Friedman have just instilled in these agents and these players that has this pipeline opened up, man. It's just incredible. Now, next thing you need to know about Roki Sasaki, the seventh thing you need to know, his nickname, he's got a great nickname. Love a great nickname. His nickname is the Monster of the Reiwa Era. And that is a tribute to Daisuke Matsusaka's nickname that was the Monster of the Heisei, referring to the different eras of the Japanese calendar. And the Reiwa era is the current era of Japanese calendars that you're seeing right now. And it's the current era of the Japanese calendar that we're in that started in 2019. And this was even before he was throwing in the NPB. And it is homage to Daisuke Matsusaka. So I think it's really cool just to see that lineage, the homage, the tribute to the past. It's just awesome. I mean, the monster. I mean, you could shorten it to the monster. Roki, the monster of the Reiwa era. That's how hitters are going to view him. That's how he kind of views himself. And let's hope he's a monster on the mound for the Dodgers for, at the very least, the next 6 years. Hopefully his entire career. Next thing you need to know, the eighth thing you need to know about Roki Sasaki is that he's lived through a tragedy. And if you watch the World Baseball Classic a couple years ago, his first start of the WBC on March 11th, it was an emotional day because it came on the anniversary of the 2011 earthquake and tsunami in Japan, where Roki tragically lost his father and his grandparents in that tsunami. He also lost his family's house. It was just completely swept away. He lost all of that in his tsunami. And his manager said about him that day that it's hard to explain. And he would go on to say, but to me, it's as if he's throwing his soul, not the baseball. So he carries this with him, and it's clearly been a major part of his career trajectory, just this moment and overcoming that tragedy that he dealt with for so many years. And he even said that baseball has helped him through that tragedy. He said years back that, quote, I was happiest playing baseball because I could lose myself for stretches of time. I felt I was able to give my best even through hard times and heartbreaking times. I've been able to dedicate myself to baseball thanks to the support I've had. I only have the sense of gratitude to those who've supported me. So just an unthinkable tragedy, just heartbreaking beyond belief, just an indescribable tragedy. And he leaned on baseball to help him get through that. And he said it was the happiest that he's been. The happiest times for him are when he is pitching, when he is playing baseball. And he would go on to a high school that he would surround himself. He went to the Ofunaru High School, which is considered to be Japan's premier program, the powerhouse. And there he really was able to get through that and use baseball to help him get through that. So I just think that's a major part of his story that just can't be ignored, just to kind of peel back the layers and understand the person behind it. Now, the next thing you need to know, the ninth thing, Roki has a black toy poodle named Ramu. Let's check out Ramu here. And he loves his dog. Look at that Ramu. There's his dog right there. During his introductory press conference, he actually had socks. He had socks that had pictures of his dog on them. So, I mean, my big question is Decoy going to teach him how to throw out the first pitch? Will we see a Ramu first pitch? I think that, to me, is going to be an exciting moment. The 10th thing you need to know is he wants to try the best burger in Los Angeles. The food that he's most excited to try is a burger. He wants to try a good old American burger, good old American cheeseburger. Let me know down below, if Roki was going to ask you for your burger recommendation, what would it be? I had For the Win yesterday. For the Win goes pretty hard. Little double cheeseburger, some grilled onions, but let me know down below.